Hi, I am Roop founder director A&I Magazine Hyderabad. So for today's podcast session, we have interior designer, a young, dynamic and a beautiful Ishita from Blanche Living. Hi Ishita, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. So actually I'm very curious to know about the name of your firm. What does this Blanche Living mean? Interior means.
So, Blanche in French means white,
Okay.
and as we study in our color theory in interiors, white signifies peace, minimalism, uh, natural elements, and that is what our studio's design style reflects. So, that is how we came up with the word the Blanche Living Interiors.
Okay, very nice. We got to know something very new from you. Thank you so much for that. What inspires you to be an interior designer?
I think my passion and my OCD. I need things in place. I need things aesthetically pleasing. I think that affects a lot of your mood. You know, when you're working, you need specific things around you that make you in that zone. Or when you're in your house, and how your personality is, it should basically reflect that comfort. So that is what inspires me. That designing is calmness for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a way of putting myself out there what I want to do.
Great.
It's more of my personality than just getting clients and doing it for the sake of it.
So, your habit inspired you to be an interior designer basically.
Yes.
Okay. You have done your interiors from INIFD
Yes.
and you have practiced under JPR Associates.
Yes.
So, how was your experience when you were working with JPR as your intern?
It was great. That is when we realized that there's more to interiors than what we study at college. You know, doing a course at college is very different than being on site handling projects. Even the drawings, what we've taught to make in a particular way, there are a lot of challenges on site that doesn't go as planned. So that is a perspective we got to know how we can take things forward, how a business works. You get a business point of perspective when you're working for a company, that how are they running a business, what all it involves. It's not just designing and giving 3Ds and, just ending it there. It's more than that.
Very true, totally. And if I'm not wrong, you have completed your space styling from London.
Yes.
So, brought you into space styling from interior designing?
As I already mentioned, OCD.
Okay.
I need things aesthetically placed, like everything to be placed in a manner that it's pleasing to your eye. For me, it's like if one pen is not in the right position, I get like it's dirty. I need my space clean. That is what inspired me to get into helping people to do that. So, not a lot of people know, styling plays an important part in your house. And the right things do. It's not like filling up your house with 100 things. Only two things can just get that, the two right things can get it into place. So it can reflect the design more. The styling can reflect the design more. And as I see right now, architects and designers, or even young designers, they are more about making things aesthetic in only an interior design point of view. But somewhere the styling part was always been left out. That is what I wanted to get in the projects, at least in mine. Start off with my projects where I can show that this is a very important topic to be taken to actually finish the project right.
अगर आपको ऑप्शन दिया जाता है इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग या स्पेस स्टाइलिंग, आप क्या चुनेंगे?
देखो, interior design is something that I enjoy, but styling is where something I can provide people with what they're leaving out on. That's totally their perspective. Interior design would be the first thing I would go for, because design ही नहीं रहेगा तो style क्या करेंगे?
गुड. और जब आप जैसे यू आर इनटू स्पेस स्टाइलिंग एंड इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग बोथ, So is it something of that sort कि आप space styling सिर्फ खुद जो site design करते हो उनके लिए करते हो, or you're open for other designers also?
I'm open for other designers also. I've done a few projects for other designers as well.
Okay.
And I think there's no wrong in that, because designers have their own eye, and if their design style and my styling style goes well, I think why not? Why not? I can help their project, highlight more in a better way just by adding a few elements.
Okay. And apart from all this, you are a female and you look very soft spoken. In our industry, because I also belong to same fraternity, I am into turnkey contracting, as I said you earlier. We need to be very blunt at site with the labor contractors. It is very tough to deal with this labor contractors at site,
Very
because client का pressure होता है, designer का pressure होता है, timelines होती हैं.
true. Very true.
So you being a female, it's not like that कि I'm underestimating you. You being a female, you can't be as blunt or as rude as the way we males are. So how do you cope up with that situation generally?
I think when you find the right team of laborers, and when they understand what working is, basically I don't, touch wood, till now I've not faced an issue where I have to face a male ego, or there are few, 10 may say 5 are like that. But when you have a solid team of other people, I think they coordinate really well. And laborers, see, they are different with their own style. They've brought up in a different way, and I don't think blunt is the only way that you can deal with people. I feel like anybody who's in this field feels okay, soft spoken है तो काम नहीं होगा. I used to feel the same way, but no, it's very different. It's a very different for everybody. Like the journey is very different, and when you find the right people and the right team, I don't feel that's an issue to be soft spoken in the industry. I think you can get it done if you have a process, a right team, and you find the comfort in doing what you're doing. I think things can go out smoothly.
Being a turnkey contractor, my perspective is entirely different, because I need to be rude at site with my team, because if I assign them something कि भाई इस time में इस timelines में इतना होना चाहिए, अगर नहीं होता है तो we have a client pressure. But definitely I will try to change my perspective and be soft to my teams for getting done our work.
You can try it work.
Definitely I will try for that. You are majorly into consultancy or contracting, or you do both?
I do both. Okay. So it's not consultancy. I take up the project with the design and the execution. So there are some clients that want to get execution done by themselves, that they're totally open with it if they want to get a contractor in between and get it done with the laborers. But then a issue arises that timelines, like you said, उनका labor है उनकी सुनेगा, उनका contractor है, then that contractor has to be a right person, at least where that comfort happens, and that's a experiment that you're going through. You cannot take a 100% guarantee कि this is going to work on this timeline if it's not my execution team.
Wavelength match होनी चाहिए.
And when you do one project, that is the only time you'll know कि this is working out or no. But we clearly mention it to the clients that these are the issues that you should be keeping in mind, because that's not 100% guarantee that we can give to the client कि हाँ आपका execution इतने time में हो जाएगा, because the third party is involved.
वो बोलते हैं ना, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस, वो वाला सिस्टम हो जाता है. आपका लेबर एक तो क्या समझ भी जाता है आपकी बात को, over the call they can understand what exactly Ishika ma'am needs. According to that they can work.
Yes.
So, and your major interest in residential or commercial projects?
Major interest is residential, but commercial is where we get excited doing commercial projects as well, because there are a lot of challenges that come there. The timelines are very short.
Timelines are very short, and you get fame also by doing commercial projects.
Definitely. Fame is a part of it, but my interest would be more residential, like where my interest lies, where I can, reflect a person's personality. For me, designing spaces is that more. Commercials, you're going to do it for a vast variety of people. Anybody and everybody who's going to walk in, see the space for buying that product, or even if you're going to a laminate shop, or you're going to a jewelry shop or anything, it's going to be for a lot of people and not one person's personality reflecting. You have to think about 100 people walking in a short span of time. So that's a challenge. We enjoy that, but our major interest would be residential.
So generally you keep some timelines for your residential project. Okay, by if I've started this project, matlab I just need to know your approach towards doing the residential project. How do you start?
So we have a whole design process that we've made. I think that works better for us because the client knows what we're going to deliver at what time, and we are on that checklist that this is how we have to take things forward. I think when you don't have that, things can get a little confusing. So how we start off is, first we sit with the client one-on-one, take a conversation. What are their requirements, what they provide, what is their design style. We take some references. Nowadays, it's very easy for the client to take out references, being Pinterest available and Google available. It's very easy to understand what they like, what they don't like. They can even refer to houses. Nowadays, people are just clicking pictures and they're like, ऐसा डिजाइन स्टाइल, हाँ ये पसंद है, ऐसे वुडन पसंद है, ये कर दो. So that is where we take the inspiration from. We're like, we understand the clients,
Their lifestyle, their requirements, their liking, their dislikes.
yes, and we understand how much they're willing to spend.
Budget
Budget is the major constraint. You might like 1,000 things, but in the budget they might not fit. But you have to satisfy the client at the end. So keeping that in mind, we come up with the mood boards, that with the budget in hand, what all we can provide you. So we do mood boards. I think that's a different thing that we do than other designers, because we feel like mood boards gives a lot of clear idea on what the client is looking at.
It gives the clarity.
Yeah.
They understand the
So
color.
color combinations, panelings.
Yes. Basically, they will come to know the color scheme, what is going to be followed in the entire
Yes,
space.
a color scheme, a design style.
Yeah.
That they should be comfortable with. A few changes here and there can be good, but I think mood boards does a very good job that, when we go on to our 3Ds or doing our 2Ds, we already know what the client wants and what they don't. During that time, they can just tell, what, Eshitaa, I don't like this paneling. This is not my style. I don't like a lot of straight lines. Give me something that's more artistic. Or maybe a client can be, this is too much molding, or this is too much shapes and colors. This is not my style. That is when we understand more clearly. Because बात करने में client can say two different things and they don't realize that design में ये दो different things, when they come together, how they're going to look. So we get those two things together and we're like, this is how your space is going to look, and that is when they realize, no, this is not what we were asking for. हमारा है minimalist, but these are the colors that we'll be fine with. So then after mood boards are done, we move on to doing 3Ds for them, after we have a clear idea of what they want. So 3Ds is when we take up the whole designing, the paneling. We have a clear idea of how their space is going to look like. So once that's done, we do material selection. As usual, we do material selection, and simultaneously we are doing our drawings. So once we have all the measurements and we know what materials are being used, we get onto a budget. So, if a client is selecting as I said, veneer instead of a laminate ka budget, they know clearly that this is the paneling, this square feet is the paneling going to come, itna material lagega. If they want to proceed with it, they can. But at that stage of time, they have an option of changing to a different thing. That Eshitaa, ये paneling is costing a lot. I didn't think ये veneer में लूँगा तो इतना हो जाएगा. They see it from a sheet. एक ही sheet के price से देखते हैं. But when they know कि इतना लग रहा है, that is when the client is thinking, okay, maybe I should have gone for laminate only.
वो भी एक होता है, दूसरा आपका भी डिजाइन सिनेरियो जो है, यू हैव टू जेल एवरीथिंग. ऐसे नहीं होता कि भाई एक पैनलिंग सिर्फ वीनियर की कर दी, बाकी सब लैमिनेट में कर दिया. यू हैव टू टेक एवरीथिंग टुगेदर. फ्लोरिंग से लेके सीलिंग तक सब मैच होना चाहिए. देयर हैज टू बी.
So we don't directly jump into execution because this can come later on. We don't want that delays. We don't want client okay चलो अब देखते हैं ये veneer का तो बजट नहीं बचा, laminate ढूंढने चलते हैं. You know, we have our other projects also in line that we need to cope up with. So we give them a time frame. Okay, think about it. We give them 2 more options that, you know, instead of this paneling or this laminate, we can do this and it's going to look great. We do a specific 3D only for that space. That this is the design option we can consider that fits in our budget. And once that's done, execution starts. You know, we know our vendors, we know our labors, all codes are closed, we know our budget. 10-15% is what we keep in hand. You know, everybody has to. Due to the site challenges.
Material selection, it happens.
It happens. There are a lot of hidden costs. You don't take consideration, transportation इतना लग जाएगा.
और इस इंडस्ट्री में स्पेशली 10% हियर ऑन देयर बोलने का मतलब ही नहीं. इट इज ऑलवेज देयर ओनली, इट इज नेवर हियर. इट इज नेवर हियर. यस यस. वन मोर थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू, लाइक यू आर ऑल्सो एन यंग एंड एस्पायरिंग डिजाइनर. What is the social media impact on you? Because now these days we are seeing कि there are many Pinterest designers, there are many Canva designers, there are many Google designers. So how much it impact on you?
So I feel there are pros and cons of having that. There are 2 things. You know, a person who is just entering into the field shouldn't be कि, you know, I am access to all of these things. मेरे पास ये सब access है तो मेरे लिए बहुत easy है interior designer बनना. That's not the only thing an interior designer can do. You know, taking references from that, getting to know what people are doing. A lot of people, not from just India, you know, you're connected to a lot of people putting only 3Ds. People can only do 3Ds for their passion and it's on the Pinterest, you know. So a lot of inspiration can be taken, but I feel you can't be taking it in a perspective कि यही लेके चलो ये फोटो है, ये पैनलिंग कर दो, खत्म हो गया मेरा काम. I'm an interior designer. That's not something we look out for. Obviously we are scrolling 1 hour तो Pinterest पे बैठते ही हैं हम. रोज हमारा free time is, you know, looking at what.
See, taking reference, everyone takes. Let it be a junior, let it be an aspiring, or let it be a senior. Everyone take a reference, no doubt about it. बट जैसे आपने बताया कि खाली उसी को बेस नहीं बनाना चाहिए. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि डिजाइन की फंक्शनलिटी भी कैसी हो. दैट इज व्हाट यू मीन टू से. जस्ट डोंट डू कंट्रोल सी कंट्रोल वी. यूजिंग रेफरेंस इज गुड, बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि उस जगह पे कितना
कितना सूट करेगा और कितना सेंस बनेगा. नॉट यू नो दैट स्पेस कैन हैव अ कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट फ्लोर प्लान टू व्हाट यू आर वर्किंग ऑन. एंड अच्छा दिखने में तो अच्छा लग रहा है, बट व्हेन यू डू अ 3D इट कैन बी हॉरिबल इन दैट स्पेस.
Very true. Apart from all this interior and space styling, if you want to give any message to the vendors of Hyderabad related to this fraternity, and if you get a chance to do something for this industry, what would you do? 2 questions are there in me. Okay. एक तो आप हैदराबाद के वेंडर्स को क्या, अगर आपको कुछ मैसेज देना है, जैसे यू आर आउट इन द मार्केट टू परचेज द मटेरियल, सिलेक्शन ऑफ मटेरियल्स, वहीं पे कहीं आपको कोई चीज़ अच्छी लगी जिसमें आपको लगता है कि इसको और कुछ सुधार किया जा सकता है, या आपको ऐसा लगता है कि दिस इज मिसिंग हियर विच आई फाउंड इन सम अदर सिटी, जो आप यहाँ के लोगों को एक मैसेज देना चाहते हो, सम मैसेज, एंड इफ़ यू गेट अ चांस टू डू समथिंग फॉर अवर इंडस्ट्री, तो आप क्या करोगे?
So I think message cannot be just a, you know, we have a lot of vendors. And very specific vendor.
Not for a specific vendor, overall. I'm not talking about any particular product or something. A general message. If you have something, it is not hard and fast that you have to give it. Give a general message. If you
no, I think it happens when you are there and when you are purchasing materials. I don't think I step back from saying or giving a suggestion which can improve their store or anything to do better. Like we've just been to a marble store here which is yet to open up, and you know they're doing a display wall where they're doing spotlights, and what I had to tell them was, you know, you're doing these lightings, but what we do at our house, the lighting temperatures are very different. So when you're doing this concept, why don't you go for the same color of lighting? you have your commercial white lights all over the shed, but this is something that can get the clients a very clear view कि हमारी light में ये marble ऐसे लगने वाला है, and that can sell better. So when there's no hard and fast this के I have a message for somebody, but when
there is one reason behind this asking you. Generally to all architects and interiors, I ask about a message for architects and interiors.
okay,
You being into space styling,
yes,
that is the reason I asked you this कि भाई स्पेस स्टाइलिंग करने से या प्रोडक्ट कुछ अच्छे तरीके से डिस्प्ले करने से, जनरली इफ यू सी नाउ द कल्चर इज चेंज्ड,
yes,
नाउ देयर इज नो स्टॉक, देयर इज ऑलवेज अ डिस्प्ले, यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट.
yes.
So that is what I'm trying to
I
ask you.
think now-
You being a space styling designer,
Yes, yes.
कुछ आप मैसेज देना चाहोगे क्या?
I think now everybody is understanding जितना ज़्यादा display उतना ज़्यादा people are gonna understand. I think that thing is already coming. That's not a message that I have to pass down. There are few people that देखा देखी में ये होते जा रहा है. So I don't think I need to say something to them because they are evolving themselves, because the market is so wide and huge that they have to display to sell their materials and display right.
That is important.
Yes, that is important.
As one more question, as I asked you, you are young, aspiring and aggressive designer. So if you get a chance, and generally youngsters are more creative and more aggressive.
Yes.
So if you get a chance to do something for our fraternity,
Yes.
what you would do?
I think me being here, first thing, me being such a behind the camera person, let my work speak. I'm here to just inspire designers that if in a 3-year journey I can be here, so can you. There are challenges that you can overcome, and I want the young architects to come up because there's a lot of passion and design that they want to do instead of a control C control V.
True.
They don't want to do 100 projects. Even me, I want to do very specific projects, but good projects where I can reflect the design, not just for the money, also for taking out that passion in a good way.
Last question. You have seen our magazine A&I.
Yes,
How do you feel about the magazine?
I think it's very different from all the other magazines that are doing. Every day I feel with every edition you're trying to get vendors, very specific vendors, and it's great that it's only specific about one state or one country, or like A&I Hyderabad, dedicated to one city purely, gives a lot of people a lot of information about what is in the market, who all are in the market, what kind of work are they doing, how are they functioning. And it's, I think, a very good magazine for the students and the young architects that are trying to come out. They already know with the magazine that what people are selling. You have featured vendors, designers, commercial designers, and everything basically in one space.
Yeah, generally we have maintained our magazine like we feature 7 architects in each edition. So 2 of them are premium.
Yes.
When I mean premium, with their experience, who have experience of
Yes.
almost 17 years, 15 years plus.
Yes.
Then we have 3 intermediators.
Yes.
And we have 2 aspiring designers or starter designer, you can say. So all come on one board and they can learn from their seniors, and even senior can understand what is happening with the youngsters in that.
Yes, definitely. That's the most interesting thing about your edition. And now that I see the edition that's coming up, that you're getting student profiles also.
Yeah. This is the 7th latest edition. We have coming up with a new column, student column about their case study.
Yes.
So we gave a benchmark to that students. उसको एक आ जाता है कि यार मैं मैगजीन में फीचर हो गया, मैं इससे नीचे कभी नहीं जा सकता. आई नीड टू गो अप, एक मोटिवेशन बढ़ाने के लिए.
Yes, that's a great thing. I feel like वो मेरे पास होता तो अभी तक मैं फीचर हो जाती. Now it wouldn't have taken me 3 years to. But that is a motivation. That's a motivation to do. You're giving an opportunity for somebody to do better from their comfort zone.
Once, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया, एक बार कोई भी बंदा प्रिंट मीडिया में हो जाता, that become the history.
Yes.
रखी रह जाती हो, विच कांट बी चेंज, कहीं ना तो कहीं मिल ही जाएगी. सो उसका एक बेंचमार्क सेट हो जाता है. देन उसको लगता है कि आज मैं यहाँ पे आ गया, अब नेक्स्ट आई शुड गो अहेड देन दैट. इससे नीचे नहीं आ सकता मैं अब कभी भी करके. और दूसरे बच्चों को भी जो लगता है कि यार ये आ गया तो मैं क्यों
नहीं.
That is the reason.
मैं भी कर सकता. That
Yes.
opportunity is open for me also. I just need to grab it the right way.
Definitely, I would definitely say about you, Ishita. We received one of your site. Believe me, trust me, I was surprised that you are a young designer. Really, it's a beautiful site, and I really feel privileged that we are going to feature that site in our coming 8th edition.
I'm glad that you liked it.
No, it's really super. We are working with so many architects, young designers, premium designers. Everyone is doing great in Hyderabad. But seeing your such a small span of duration, it's really an amazing site.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ishita, for taking out the time in your busy schedule, giving time for a podcast session, and educating the aspiring designers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.